This conference will now be recorded.
ओके. नमस्कार. आज दिनांक 25 मे 2020. आज व्याख्यानासाठी आपल्याकडे डॉक्टर नरेश कोरे सर, जे प्रोफेसर काय चिकित्सा विभाग, पारुल युनिव्हर्सिटी, गुजरात या ठिकाणून आपल्याकडे उपस्थित आहेत. सरांचं मी या ठिकाणी वेलकम करतोय. नमस्कार सर.
नमस्कार.
सरांचा परिचय देण्यासाठी आपल्याला बराच वेळ लागेल, तर मी शॉर्ट मध्ये आपला सरांचा परिचय करून देतोय. सरांचं कार्य आयुर्वेदिक क्षेत्रात आणि काय चिकित्सा विभागात खूप मोठं आहे. इथे सांगायचं झालं, सर माझे टीचर आहेत, त्याच्यातच सगळा सरांचा मोठेपणा इथे आहे. आणि दुसरी गोष्ट अशी आहे की सरांनी यापूर्वी मांजरा आयुर्वेद महाविद्यालय लातूर या ठिकाणी सर लेक्चरर आणि असोसिएट प्रोफेसर म्हणून सरांचं कार्य होतं. अनेक नॅशनल आणि इंटरनॅशनल कॉन्फरन्सेस मध्ये सरांनी भाग घेतला आहे. अनेक रिसर्च आर्टिकल्स सरांनी प्रेझेंट नॅशनल आणि इंटरनॅशनल जर्नल मध्ये केलेले आहेत. काय चिकित्सा विभागात सरांनी कामला या विषयावरती शोध प्रबंध सादर केलेला आहे. तसेच सरांनी अनेक काय चिकित्सा संबंधित ROTPs सरांनी सादर आतापर्यंत अटेंड केलेले आहेत. सोबत मॉडर्न मेडिसिन वरचं सरांचं नॉलेज आणि प्रभुत्व हे प्रचंड आहे. तर मी आपला जास्त वेळ न घेता मी आपले प्राचार्य माननीय लोखंडे सर यांना विनंती करतो की लोखंडे सरांनी या ठिकाणी माननीय डॉक्टर नरेश कोरे सरांचं या ठिकाणी स्वागत करावं आणि हा कार्यक्रम चालू करण्यासाठी परवानगी द्यावी. धन्यवाद. लोखंडे सर.
मी अश्विन आयुर्वेद महाविद्यालयातर्फे डॉक्टर नरेश कोरे सरांचं स्वागत करतो आणि त्यांना विनंती करतो की त्यांनी त्यांचं व्याख्यान चालू करावं.
सर, आता मी इतरांचे माईक
थँक्यू सर
म्यूट करत आहे. कोरे सर, एक कृपया विनंती आहे, मी आता सगळ्यांचे माईक म्यूट ऑल ऑप्शन मध्ये टाकतो आहे. फक्त आपण आपलं माईक ऑन ठेवावं आणि आपलं लेक्चर चालू करावं प्लीज. इतरांनी आपले माईक बंद करावे ही विनंती, जेणेकरून आपल्याला संपूर्ण लेक्चरचा योग्य ते आस्वाद घेता येईल. धन्यवाद.
Okay, can I start now, Bhairav sir?
Yes sir. Yes sir. Yes sir. Please.
Good afternoon, all the respectable viewers. Respected Dr. Lokhande sir, Dr. Sapekar sir, Dr. Bhairav Kulkarni sir, all the respectable faculties of Ashwin Ayurved Rural Medical College, and thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to communicate with this variety of viewers by means of this stage. So, dear friends, I will just share my opinion regarding the probable approach of the COVID-19. Before that, I just want to give a single example to you. So, dear friends, you know the fashion of clothes, fashion of mobile, fashion of food and everything. So when I was small, at that time, the fashion of clothes of the bell-bottom pant was there. The bottom of the pant is so broad. You may remember in the movies of Amitabh Bachchan. If there was nowadays someone wear that pant, it looks so funny. The same trend has been followed in our medical practice also. The fashion trend. How? Let me explain. When I was taking the education in my graduation, at that time, the trend of coronary artery disease was there. Every alternate death is due to the coronary artery disease. So this trend persists up to 8 to 10 years. But after the grand entry of the HIV virus, so commonly this trend has been disappeared. So HIV virus, after the entry of HIV virus, everyone was just like the COVID-19. In what way the person, every community, every part of the community is under influence of the COVID-19. The same like that. In the 90s and 2000 phase, HIV virus having the dam everywhere. After HIV virus, then chikungunya came. The chikungunya, the villages, towns, multiple people, suddenly they get affected and this immobilization of the joint, they get admitted and all that. Then the SARS came. After the SARS, the trend of carcinoma. You must knowing that just recently Rishi Kapoor, Irfan Khan, all these died due to the cancer, variety of cancer. Now every alternate house having the patient of cancer is there. And now the entry of COVID-19 virus. One virus, it is unbelievable for me. I can't imagine a single virus can having the ability to shut down the world. It affects every part of the community, all classes, all socio-economic classes. So this changing trend, just like a fashion, we observe here in our medical field also. But in the clothes fashion, the trend has been changed. But one thing is there, which is having a dhruva position, a constant position. Fashion changes, but that thing never changes. Jeans, jeans pant, jeans shirt, jeans jacket, everywhere, in every fashion trend, the jeans get suited. It get acclimatized. The same that one thing in a medical field also, it is having the same position, dhruva position, unchangeable position, is a fever. So when I used to discuss with my allopathic physician friends, I just asked them, which clinical entity commonly causes your blood pressure increase, to start palpitation, sweating. ऐसा डर लगता है आपको पेशेंट देख के हो. Unconscious patient, cardiac patient, chest pain patient, CNS involvement patient. He said no. The only one category of a patient is having fever, not responding to any medicine, irrespective of doing a lot of investigation. The fever is not decreasing. When the fever is not decreasing, the pressure of the doctor, physician, treating physician, it is getting increasing. So in very commonly in Marathi, it is telling that patient la tap and doctor la paschatap. So this fever is there. Now let's come to the super specialty. The specialty in our medical field: vascular surgeon, cardiovascular surgeon. First is the cardiovascular surgeon. Afterwards, specialty, cardiovascular surgeon. Then coronary artery surgeon. Then left anterior descending branch surgeon. So specialty, super specialty, endocrinologist, and a lot of super specialty are there in the medical track. But anyone is there? Maika Lal, who is telling that I am expert in fever, I can manage any kind of fever, despite of having various shades of fever. But no one is there who can claim, yes, I can treat the fever. Modern science considered fever as a symptom. It is just elevated body temperature. It is a fever. Variety of responsible pathologies are there, and it is one of the symptoms of that pathology. But our science, Ayurveda, knows the importance of this fever. So every literature, every acharyas, every granth, they have given the position of the dhruva to the fever, jwara. Considering the jwara, elevated body temperature, santapa, they have explained a variety of clinical entities, variety of diagnostic criteria, and even the variety of the treatment protocols also. Even they have just ordered us follow each and every instructions of the jwara topic to the respective other diseases, and they consider whatever the things written in that respective disease management. But first of all, you have to take care of the fever. So this is the introduction of the fever, such a hot topic field. So when I was thinking, Dr. Bhairav has just caught me, and he you have to explain the approach of the Ayurvedic management of the COVID-19. Yes, I was thinking at the time how to correlate this COVID-19 condition with this any disease entity. So ultimately, I went in this Alibaba ki Guha. I called Jwara as a Alibaba ki Guha, Jwara chapter. You will get anything, everything, every kind of jewelry, gold and coins and all everything. So I went in the Alibaba ki Guha, और इस चौकट पे कोई ऐसा निराश होके वापस नहीं आता. So I got the answer of this. So in my discussion, I will just correlate the various condition of the jwara with the COVID-19. But first of all, I must very much thankful to the dedicated physician warriors who are actually treating the cases of COVID-19. They're keeping their life on the risk. Lot of doctors, they have also offered to sacrifice their life. So they have provided a valuable data for the symptomatology, the probable pathophysiology, and the management protocol also, and the prognosis also. Yes, in the primary phase, a lot of data and a lot of criteria has been changing, but the trend has been now fixed. So that is the output of the work or the effort taken by our dedicated physician. So I went through all this data and tried to convert in our basic Ayurvedic fundamental principles. So before that, in just like in the quote, जो भी कहूंगा सच के सिवाय कुछ नहीं कहूंगा, जो भी कहूंगा ग्रंथ के अनुसार कहूंगा. So whatever the correlation is there, so it is related with the literature. I will not put any extra reference of this grantha because whatever the things are there, I want to explain here on this page is completely correlating with the Brihatraya and Laghutraya. So, okay, let's start with the COVID-19. So, approach to the COVID-19. So, most of the viewers, they also already get the familiar with the pathophysiology and all the changing trends of the symptomatology, the morbidity rate, and the media is now in the very hot position and they are continue delivering the data about the treatment protocols and the morbidity and all of it. So, I have categorized this COVID-19 protocol into 3 different categories. First is the pre-disease condition. Second is the disease condition, and third is the post-disease condition. Vyadhi Purva Avastha, Vyadhi Avastha, and Vyadhi Paschat Avastha. So in the Vyadhi Avastha, second stage, I have categorized again into 4 separate sections. First is a symptomatic phase, second, mild to moderate phase, third is a severe phase, and fourth one is a fatal phase. So I will explain step by step. So first start upon the pre-disease condition. So what is the pre-disease condition now? Before the infection of the COVID-19. So this is very important. First I will tell or I will explain regarding the modern pathophysiology and I will correlate with our Ayurvedic fundamental principles. So friends, you already know the virus is responsible for this COVID-19, this coronavirus. So this virus get entry by various ways. Airborne disease is there by sneezing and contacts and all everything. After getting this entry inside the body, the virus generally get attached to the endothelial membrane of the respiratory tract. The viruses get attached to the endothelial membrane of the respiratory tract on a specific location, that is angiotensin converting enzyme receptor. When the virus get attached, it delivers the material what it is having to the cell and produces toxin. So this particular phase or this particular time span, we can label it as a pre-disease condition, Vyadhi Purva Avastha. So we can label it as a incubation period also. So virus get entry and it start the symptoms. So this is the pre-disease condition. So what are the symptoms in this pre-disease condition? Most of the people, they are asymptomatic. So due to their own Sarata, Bala, Agni, a lot of factors are there. So due to most of the patient, they are asymptomatic, but some people, they develop sore throat, running nose, and mild myalgia. So now the Ayurvedic principles part. So virus is not a Nija hetu. It is not present inside your body. It is an external factor. So we can directly correlate with the Agantuja hetu. So Nija hetu and Agantuja hetu. So even though while describing the Jwara topic, Nija Jwara and Agantuj Jwara is a clear-cut classification of these 2 entities. So we can label it as a Agantuja hetu. When this Agantuj hetu get contact with the body, they produces the disease, but having little bit difference in the Samprapti or pathophysiology. So what is the difference? So Nija Ghataka, just Mithyahar Vyarabhyam. When they get contact with our body, they produces Ama, they produces Strotoroda and the further Samprapti of the Jwara. But here, it's about the Agantuj hetu. A little difference is there. Agantuj hetu, when get contact with the body, they produces Ruja first, Vedana, and then Dosha Prakop. So please remember, Dosha Prakop is a very important factor. So in the Nija hetu, the Strotoroda, Am, this is the concept important. But here in Agantuj, for the Agantuja hetu, direct Dosha Prakop is there. And this increased dosha will further extend the Samprapti of the disease. So the particular time span for the Agantuj hetu produces Ruja and then causes the dosha Prakopa. So this can be taken as a pre-disease condition. So I have explained regarding the modern pathophysiology in this condition and the Ayurvedic Samprapti in this condition. Now, what should be our approach? Here, the disease is not present. Here, most of the patient, they are asymptomatic. They are not, even though they doesn't know whether they are positive or negative, even though they doesn't went for the medical help also. But the quarantine patient, suspected patient who is having the history of traveling, who is having history of contact, then we can categorize this particular population and we can apply our approach or protocols in this particular treatment management protocol. Then how this works? So here the Samprapti has not been fully started. So whatever the target of the Samprapti is a Pachak Agni. So Pachak Agni will changes his position when to the Rasadhatu. So this thing has not been happened. So we can strengthen, we can do our approach, we can approach toward the strengthening of this Pachak Agni. Second, the concentration. Who will be affected? Who will be targeted? Rasadhatu. So we should target the Rasadhatu also. So here, not giving the direct medicine, but a first medicine in Charak Chikitsa Sthan is a Shadangodaka. So here Langana is having little bit not so much role, because while dealing with the Nija Samprapti, Strotorod, Ama Utpatti, Agni Mand and all everything. So here Langana is having the most important role. But while dealing with the Agantuja Hetu, so there is not a Strotorod or Ama Nirmiti is there. And therefore I think, so no need of giving a vigorous Langan in such kind of patient. Even though Astang Hridaykara, they have placed the Agantuja Vadi in the contraindication of the Langan. So we can directly start the Shadangodak. So Musta, Parapada, Chandan, Ushira, Nagarayan. So all these are very beautiful drug having a very good action. These are the Pachaniya. So whatever the dosha prokop will there, so they will take care of this thing. So Shadangodak we can easily start to the patient. Second, the Tarpana is for the Rasadhatu. So strengthening of the Rasadhatu, Rasakarma is a prenan. So for the prenana purpose, strengthening of the Rasadhatu, we can start the Tarpan. So very simple remedies are which is easily available in our home also. Laja Manda, Laja Manda. So Laja Manda. Second, Jwarahara Falavarga. They have explained Jwarahara Falavarga, Dadima, Karjura, Falasa. So we can use and make the Panaka. So most of the students who are in second year, Rasashastra and Vaishesha Kalpana, they know how to make the Panaka. So Panaka. So this first is a Shadangodak, second is a Panaka, third is a Jwarahara Kashaya. Jwarahara Gana has been explained in Charak Chikitsastan, Charak Sutrastan second adhyay. So we can take this drug, make the decoction or Sadhita Jala. So we can use this Jala also. And the fourth one, those people who are non-vegetarian, the Maunsaras is also very good Agni Deepana plus Tarpan property. So in the pre-disease condition, we can concentrate on the Pachakagni status and Rasadhatu status by means of this Shadangodaka, Jwarahara Kashaya, and then Laja Manda, Karjuradi Mantha, and then last one is the Maunsarasan. So those patients who are quarantined, those patients who are suspected, maybe be able to change the condition of the Agni, strengthening of the Rasadhatu. Maybe they will not land into the second phase of the disease or the complicated phase of the disease. So here crucial role of Pachak Agni is there. So this is all about the pre-disease condition. Now let's talk about the disease condition, that is a Vyadhi Avastha. So already I have mentioned that I have categorized this particular stage into 4 subdivisions. First is asymptomatic, second mild to moderate symptom, third severe symptom, and fourth is a fatal symptom. So this particular scenario is based upon completely whatever the data provided by our COVID warriors, the COVID treating physicians. So in the first category, that is asymptomatic. Those people who are positive, COVID-19 positive, but asymptomatic, that doesn't have any symptom. The second category, mild to moderate symptom. So let me explain what are the symptoms are there. The simples are there. We have also mentioned in the pre-disease condition, what are the symptoms? Those people who are having a mild symptom, sore throat, cough, and myalgia. So ultimately, this scenario accelerates in the second stage also, and Jwara. So those symptomatic patient, the majority of the symptomatic patient, more than 90% of the patient, they are having the history of Jwara. And the fever is specifically high-grade fever and not responding to the NSAID, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. So it is a continuous fever and high-grade fever. Second, cough may be dry or with the expectoration. Third is a running nose. Fourth is a sneezing. Fifth is the headache. Sixth is the myalgia. Maybe some patient they are having nausea and vomiting. Some patient they are having diarrhea also. So this is the symptomatology of the disease patient. So this I recall this because these are very important, because by means of these symptoms we apply the Anuman Praman and we will get an idea what probable samprapti or what probable dosha prakop, involvement of dhatu is happening in this condition. So first category is asymptomatic, and the second category mild to moderate symptom. I have just explained what are the symptoms are there. Fever, recurrent, continued fever is there. High grade fever is there. Second, sore throat, dry or productive cough. Then sneezing, running nose, headache, myalgia, body ache, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. So we can categorize these lakshanas according to the involvement of strothas also. Okay, let me explain here. So third and fourth condition or fourth stage, we will explain later because it will cause a more confusion now. The first stage is asymptomatic, second stage is a mild to moderate symptom. So what is the criteria? In the first stage, those people who are asymptomatic or acceleration of samprapti. So now the movie's trend is there, the sequel is there, Bagi 1, Bagi 2, Bagi 3, just like that, COVID 1, COVID 2, and COVID 3. COVID 1 is a pre-disease condition, now COVID 2, that is the disease condition, but here asymptomatic phase. So most of the patient that doesn't have, only reports is positive, patient doesn't have symptom. Maybe their own Agni Bala, own Bala, Sarata, Vedic Shamatva, these factors are responsible for this. So in this condition, what we can do? So what happens in the Samprapti? So in the Jwara Samprapti, it has been explained whether Nija Hetu or Agantuj Hetu are there. The first, second, they Amashay. Their action is on the Amashay. Third, Agni. They drive the Agni from its own position, Amashay, to the Rasadhatu. This is the third. And whatever the things are there happens in the Rasadhatu. So these are the stages of Samprapti. Hetu Samparka, then Dosha Prakopa. Due to the Dosha Prakopa, displacement of the Agni from its own position, that is from Amashay to the Rasadhatu. So this thing happens in the stage of the disease, first stage or second stage. So here the patient are asymptomatic. So what we can do in this first stage? What will be our approach? Yes, we can start because already we have started the Tarpan, Shadan Bodak and all everything. Those people who are able to carry out the Langan, then we can give the Langan to them also. Then the time comes to give some medicine. So what medicine we should plan? So definitely Pitta dominant is a high grade fever is there. So concentrating on this Pitta entity, we can start. The first choice of drug is the Guduchadi Kashaya. So in the Ashtanga Hridaya, Guduchadi Gana is there. So Guduchi, Padmaka, Rakta Chandana, Nimba, all these drugs are a Pitta Rasa Shita Virya. So ultimately having the action on the Pachakagani and Pitta. So Guduchadi Kashaya will be the best option in this particularly asymptomatic cases. The second is Drakshadi Kashaya. Drakshadi Kashaya has been explained in the Jwara, Rakta Pitta and Madatte. So it is a Pitta action on the Rasa Rakta and Pachakagni also. So this Drakshadi Kashaya will be our second option. And third one is the Amrutottar Kashaya. Reference is a Sahastra Yogam. Amrutottar Kashaya. Only three ingredients are there. Amruta, that is Goduchi, Harataki, second, and third is the Shunti. So anyone can make a judgment about this. Amruta is the best immunomodulator, Jwarhar, Rasayan, and Harataki. Everyone knows the Harataki, and third is the Shunti. Agni Dipan and Pachan Karma is there. So if suppose the patient is having mild GID symptom, you can start with the Amrutottar Kashaya, Amapacha Kashaya. Let me explain all the Kashaya. What I am explaining here, all are available in the market, and whatever oath I have taken at the start of this lecture, जो भी कहूँगा सच कहूँगा, जो भी कहूँगा ग्रंथ से कहूँगा, all these are ग्रंथोक्त medicine which are described in Charak Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, Ashtanga Hridaya, Bhava Prakash, त्याच्यानंतर in afterward Vaishaj Ratnavali and Sahasra. So all these are the ग्रंथोक्त preparation. So in this asymptomatic phase, we can start with this. Along with this, other remedies for gargles, Haridra Churna, even though the golden milk, that milk and turmeric combination, that is also there. Some Pratimarshanas, you can start with that also. And Sudarshan Churna. It is also a fantastic medicine, Sudarshan Churna, Jwarha Radhikar, and Talisadi Vatakam. So specifically, this Talisadi Vatak having the property, it is having, if suppose the patient is having respiratory symptom, it is Shwasa, Kasa, sore throat, whatever, but having the origin in GIT, because Talisadi Vatak has been explained in the Grahani Adhikar. So if GIT symptoms are there, Agnimandha symptoms are there, along with the cough, Shwasa and all, Kasa and Shwasa and all everything, so preference goes to the Talisadi Vatakam. So Here in this pre-disease condition, we can start with this internal medication along with it is small other things are gargles and all everything. So it will take care. So what is the effect of this? What we have done? So we have strengthened the Agni, we have strengthened the Rasadhatu also. Or if suppose due to the dosha prakop, some Amanirmiti was there, so we have taken care of that Amanirmiti also. So in this disease first condition. Now let me explain the second condition, that is mild to moderate symptom. Here, this is a very crucial phase. So modern science also, they have developed a different clinical criteria, investigation criteria regarding staging of this condition, because this particular stage is very crucial. So we can prevent the patient to go in that further morbid or complicated case. If you work properly on this, in this stage particularly, most of the patient, despite having COVID positive, they can become a less motile, or the complication rate will be low in such category. So this is a very crucial. Just concentrate over this. What is the probable pathology or samprapti in the symptomatic phase? I have already explained what are the symptoms. Very commonly, the symptoms are this dry or wet cough, jwara, continuous fever, high-grade fever is there, running nose, sneezing, headache, myalgia, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. So these are the symptoms in this state. So how to make the approach? What is the probable samprapti? So let me explain by means of the modern pathophysiology what is happening in this stage. So we have started, that is COVID first, just like a Bagi first, Bagi 2, Bagi 3. So COVID first, I have just paused the modern pathophysiology up to the attachment of the virus and the produces the toxin. So let me continue that part again. We will go in the flashback now. So virus, when get it attached with the endothelial membrane of the respiratory tract, it delivers whatever the material to the cell and started to copy himself and produces the toxin. And by means of this reaction, one component, that is cytokine. So this cytokine is produced in the body. And this cytokine enzyme or this chemical is responsible for inflammatory reaction. Inflammatory reaction is our own body's reaction, which is governed by WBC. All the Panch Pandav, neutrophil, eosinophil, lymphocyte, all the Panch Pandavas there. So they are having the charge of defense, and they produces the inflammation. And due to the inflammation, the patient is having sore throat, cough, fever, and all the symptoms are there. So in this stage, due to the cytokine, we are getting the symptoms. So in the modern science, there is no any answer for this cytokine or this inflammatory reaction. They can just give the steroids, corticosteroids, because NSAID, they are already not working. And the steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, that is this corticosteroid, they introduce in the corticosteroid to control the inflammation process. Now what we can do from our approach? So we can translate this cytokine theory in our Ayurvedic principles. So let me explain again the Ayurveda part 2. Our Agni, which resides in the Amashay, its own sthana, due to the dosha prakopa, this Agni changes its position and went to the Rasadhatu. Please remember, Rasadhatu is a Saumya Dhatu. And when Agni arrives in its position, so वो तो परेशान होता है. And Rasadhatu will not form properly. The karma, rasa karma, that is a prinan karma, it also gets pressed. Whatever the part it is expected to deliver to the Rakta Dhatu, it is also not properly delivered. And by means of these two, rasamala cough will be increased. So this may be the probable cause why the pranava srotas is involved in the samprapti. Pranava srotas, it is having a moolasthana in the mahasrotas. It is in the amashay. Amashay is a very broad term. Don't correlate with the stomach and all that. Amashay is a very broad term. If you go for the pittasthana, amashay has been mentioned. So rasamal will be increased, kapha will be increased, involvement of pranava srotas is there. Again, it has been explained in the pathophysiology of the Shvasaka Sahika. Kapha vatatmak vikara, pittasthana samudbhava. Pittasthana, again amashay. So this is a factor why respiratory system is commonly involved in this condition. And patient produces the symptoms like kasa, shwasa, shortening of the breath, and the fever, headache, and all everything. The samprapti reaches up to the rasadhatu and little bit up to the raktadhatu. When we go for the investigation, so in this stage, they have mentioned specifically early stage of the disease, lymphopenia, lymphocyte get reduced, maybe thrombocytopenia, platelet may be reduced, neutrophil, they also get reduced. So we can correlate when the CBC report we get from the patient, if this neutropenia, lymphopenia, thrombocytopenia is happening, so we can correlate with this Rasadhatu involvement. So what will be the treatment protocol? So here we'll define the first, which dosh responsible is there, this dhatu is responsible is there. Agni has been displaced. Second dhatu is a Rasadhatu, and the dosha majorly kapha and vata. And due to the kapha vata involvement, the common symptoms whatever we are getting here, it due to the kapha vata involvement, kapha vata jwara. That is pratishay, kas, and all everything here. So approach, what will be the approach in this particular condition? One fantastic drug which has been explained in the Sahasrayogam. It is Dashamul Katutrayadi Kashayam. Three contents are there: Dashamul, Trikatu, and Vasa. Dashamul and Trikatu, all are Ushna Viryatmaka. So ultimately they will affect upon the Kapha Pradhana Avastha. So they will decrease the Kapha, even though Dashamul is having action on the Vata also. And the third ingredient is a Vasa. So Vasa is having main action on Pranavasrotas, Kasar and all. And second, it is having the best role in the Rakta Pitta, whatever thrombocytopenia and we are getting here. So it will take care of that. Rakta Pitta Adhikar Vasa. Even though the Samprapti will accelerate in the Raktudhatu also. And the Raktudhatu causes a lot of problems. So Vasa will prevent the Samprapti to acceleration in the Katutrayadi Kashaya is the best option in this condition. Second, Elakanadi Kashaya. So this is also explained in the Sahasrayog and Ashtang Hridaya also. So this is the same content, but having little bit action on the upper respiratory tract. If upper respiratory tract is involved, common very severely, running nose, sneezing and all, prefer Elakanadi Kashaya. If lower respiratory tract is involved, then prefer Dashamulu Katutrayadi Kashaya. So along with these two, you can give Sitopaladi Churna, Talisadi Churna, and the most important drug which is commonly used in Kapha Vata Jwara, that is Tribhuvana Kirti, Ananda Bhairava Rasa. So this drug, depending upon the condition of the patient, we can give to the patient. Now they come to the second, most of major, very less patient, they are having GIT symptom, that is nausea and vomiting, which commonly gives us idea regarding the Kapha Pitta involvement. So in this particular condition, when the Kapha Pitta involvement is there, so we can change our mode of the treatment. We can give the Panchatikta Kashaya. Panchatikta Kashaya, Bhaishaja Ratnavali Adhikar, even though in the Sharangar it has been explained. Panchatikta Kashaya. So all the Tikta Shita Dravya will be there, and they will take care of the specifically what is happening here in this GIT. It is Agnisthana. Due to that, patient is having nausea and vomiting, or sometimes loose motions are there. So Panchatikta Kashaya. Second best drug will be Patola Katurohinadi Kashaya. It is little bit Rechaka. Patola Katurohinadi Kashaya. Patola Kutki, Nimba, all Dakta Chandan, these are the ingredients of the Patola Katurohinadi Kashaya. It has explained in the Kushtadhika, but having very good role on the Agnashay, Amashay, Rasadhatu, and Raktadhatu also. So this is Patola Kashaya, Nimbadi Kashaya, again, which is explained in the Vidhradi Adhikar. This can be also. This drug is very important because we want to prevent the further Samprapti also. So keeping in mind, we can give Patola Katurohinadi Kashaya and Nimbadi Kashaya, which has been explained in Raktadushti, Maunsadushti, Kushtadhika, Maunsadushti. So therefore, if suppose some patient is having the Samprapti can turn toward this, so we can start this Patola Katurohinadi Kashaya and Nimbadi Kashaya. And the last option for the GIT involvement is the Drakshadi Kashaya. Very fantastic drug, Drakshadi Kashaya. Madatte Rakta Pitta Jwara Adhikara. So these are the probable drugs: Panchatikta Kashaya, Patola Katurohinadi Kashaya, Nimbadi Kashaya, and Drakshadi Kashaya for Pitta involvement. For Kapha Vata involvement, one option is the Dashamulu Katutrayadi Kashaya, Elakanadi Kashaya. If suppose Vata involvement is more, that is dry cough is there, the cough is not productive, dry cough, headache is there, not so much running, no sneezing is more. So in that condition, Vata Kaphatmak Vikar, the better choice will go for the Vagradi Kashaya, explained in the Ashtang Hridaya, Kantakari. So Vagradi Kashaya is the first option. Second option is the Nayopayam Kashaya. It is also having the same ingredient, that is Dashamula Bala. So Bala it is having, which will action on the Vata dosha. So Nayopayam Kashaya, Vagradi Kashaya, even though Bharangadi Kashaya, that will be the best option for the Vata dominant Kapha involvement. So I have categorized into three parts: Kapha Vata domination, दशमुख कटुत्रयादि कषाय, एलकणादि कषाय, along with Tribhuvan Kirti, Sudarshan Churna, Anand Bhairav. Second category, Vata Pradhan, Kapha Madhya. In that condition, we can prefer go to the Balajirak Adi Kashaya, Navapayan Kashaya, Vagradi Kashaya, Sitopaladi Churna. And third, if Pitta involvement is more, that is nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, GIT symptoms are there, they are Panchatikta Kashaya, Patalokatoranyadi Kashaya, Nimbadi Kashaya, and last is the Drakshadi Kashaya. So in this symptomatic phase, patient is having a mild symptom. So we can introduce such kind of regime depending upon the patient's condition. Whatever the condition of the patient, GIT examination after examination, you can choose the culp from this. Now move toward the Bagi part 3, that is COVID part 3. The patient who are having severe symptoms. So these are the atom bombs. They can blast at any time. So how to tackle down these cases? So again, I will move towards the modern pathophysiology. What actually happens? We go in the flashback, we reach up to the cytokine, and cytokine has produced the inflammatory reaction. So we will accelerate the condition. Now what happens in that second part of the pathophysiology? What that cytokine will do? So in the severe stage, that is the third stage, then the patient commonly having the symptom of shortness of the breath. The pulse oximeter, if you take the pulse oximeter, oxygen saturation starting dropping, patient become breathless, shortness of the breath, the lungs are congested. So in this condition, so ventilatory support gets required. When you go for the X-ray, you will get a haziness or some opacity in the lung shadow. This is a diagnostic of the pneumonitis. So in this condition, Pranavatsata's mild involvement, major involvement, that causes this pneumonitis. And due to that, the shortness of the breath and saturation get dropped. So what is the responsible pathologies there? Again, the cytokine. Cytokine in the mild form, it gives a mild inflammatory reaction. When the cytokine increases, ultimately that causes severe inflammatory reaction. And due to the inflammation, pneumonitis, it is a form of inflammatory reaction. Sore throat, it is a form of inflammatory reaction. Running nose, it is a form of inflammatory reaction. So what is the war in between WBC and cytokine is there? That is called as the inflammation. Mahabharata. Panch Pandav and that cytokine. So दोनों का झगड़ा शुरू होगा महाभारत, and that causes the process of inflammation. So severe inflammation that causes the pneumonitis and all everything. So how we correlate this condition in our Ayurveda Samprapti now? That comes toward the Ayurvedic Samprapti. Our Samprapti has reached up to the Raktadhatu, Rasadhatu. So ultimately, when Rasadhatu get vitiated in the major quantity, then the Samprapti accelerates toward the Raktadhatu. So when Raktadhatu get involved, that produces, it is the Ushma Dhatu. So ultimately, वो तो एकदम ज़्यादा बावला हो जाता है फिर. It causes a lot of symptoms. Raktadhatu, then again Mons Dhatu. So this particular condition we can correlate with a Santata Jwara. So well, beautiful explanation of the Samprapti in the Santata Jwara. So our Granthakara has explained the two stages in the Santata Jwara, Doshapaka and Dhatupaka. These are the very important stages for the prognosis of the Jwara. Doshapaka. Whatever the responsible dosh is there, the pak is happening. That is good for the patient. It is good for the prognosis. When Dhatupaka, when this particular dosha, this increased pitta, increased ushma, causes harm to the dhatu, then dhatu get the avastha of the pak avastha, and that is a very morbid condition or severe condition. So here in the second stage, when the symptoms are severe, or in the third stage, when the symptoms are severe, then we can correlate this condition with the dosha pak avastha. So in this dosha pak avastha, our Granthakar has explained, this is a very crucial phase, 7 days, 10 days or 13 days it will take. After completion of this dosha paka phase, Jwara Nivritti is there. Now whatever the job remains to strengthen the dhatu. So dosha pak is a stage, is a very important in the management of the Jwara. So dosha pak, how to initiate this dosha pak? Whatever paka is there, it comes under the area of the, who is the boss of this pak concept? Pitta is there. But already our pith has changed its position. It comes to the दूसरे के घर में गया अभी वो रसधातु and रक्तधातु में गया है. So how will it do the action? But till we have to concentrate on the Agni status. So what we can do? So here, while correlating with the, we have already correlated with the Santata Jwara and we have correlated with the Doshapaka concept. So what in the Doshapaka concept they have explained? So in the Doshapaka concept, the true treatment options, two options they have provided Granthakara. One is a Shamaniya Kashaya and second Gruta Kalpana. So these true treatment modalities has been given by Ashtanga Hridaya, Charak Samhita and all of these. So what about the Shamaniya Kashaya? Which particular Shamaniya Kashaya we can introduce in this particular stage when the involvement of the Pranavasrotas, pneumonitis is already there, cytokine is doing its job, severe inflammatory reaction. If we go for the investigation, again, the scenario gets changed. Little bit we will find some changes. The bilirubin will be small, slightly increasing, which indicate the involvement of Rakta Dhatu. The bilirubin will be increased. Thrombocytopenia. And the second major complication is a DIC, that is disseminated intravascular coagulopathy, Raktapitta Avastha. The bleeding inside internal bleeding. So why the internal bleeding is there? Because due to the inflammatory product, this inflammatory product target to the coagulation factor. And when they target to the coagulation factor, ultimately the process of coagulation it get hampered. And due to that, internal bleeding gets started. So I will get the idea regarding whether internal bleeding is started or not. The beautiful investigation D-dimer. So D-dimer investigation is there, which is helpful for the diagnosis of DIC. When D-dimer is increasing, keep in the mind DIC will start, which will causes the more complication. So what the treatment protocols here now from our side? In the modern pathophysiology, modern science, they are continuing with the steroids. Second, maybe antiviral drugs, a lot of 2-3 antiviral drugs are there. They introduce the antiviral drug. They support with the ventilator or other oxygen therapy is there. So what we can do? So here option from our side. So we have to think about the Doshapa concept, Agni concept. So Shamaniya Kashaya along with Gruta Kalpana. So what will be the Shamaniya Kashaya? First best option is the Indukanta Kashaya. Indukanta, the Kanti of Chandra, which has been disturbed, Rajakshma Adhikar. So in the Indukanta, in the Rajakshma, all dhatus they get involved, and due to that dhatu kshaya, so commonly the entity of the Rajakshma has been produced, and the produces Kas, Ashwas, and all everything. So here we can introduce the Indukanta Kashaya, which is having the combination of the Karanja, the Shamula, and all Trikatuna. So this particular Indukanta Kashaya is very helpful to increase the WBC count. Here lymphopenia was there, neutropenia was there, so Pando thoda sa weak ho rahe the. So Indukanta Kashaya will be the best option for increase the WBC count. Whenever WBC count get lowered in the fever, just introduce the Indukanta Kashaya. Along with Indukanta Grata is also there. We already committed that the Shamaniya Kashaya along with the Grata Kalpana. So we can introduce the Indukanta Grata along with the Indukanta Kashaya also. The second option will be the Vasa Guduchadi Kashaya. It is explained in the Pandu Adhikar, in the Charak Samhita, also in the Ashtanga Hridaya. So specifically in the Ashtanga Hridaya, Vasa Guduchadi Kashaya, Vasa, Guduchi, Kutki, Limba. So all these ingredients. So this is a beautiful drug which will take care of your thrombocytopenia. Thrombocytopenia and the increased bilirubin level. It is a beautiful drug which is having the spectrum in 3 entities, one Pandu, Shotha, and Kamala. So these 3 entities will be covered by Vasa Guduchadi Kashaya. So along with Indukanta Kashaya, you can introduce with the Vasa Guduchadi Kashaya. The two another medicines are there. One is not commonly used by our here in the Maharashtra or in the north side. In the south side, that medicine is Chikun Tipalyadi Gulika. Chikun is the name for the Sunthi. Tipalli is for Pipali. So other ingredients are there. 10 to 15 ingredients are there. Chikun Tipalyadi Gulika. Sannipata Jwara Adhikar. So for the Doshapag condition, this Chikun Tipalyadi Gulika, which is commonly the Vata Kapha Jwara, Sannipata Jwara, is a very fantastic Chikun Tipalyadi Gulika. Another important drug is a Vayu Gulika, which is having reference in the Sahasra Yoga. So which are giving, we are in the commonly giving this Vayu Gulika in the Shwasadhikar. So here for the controlling of this pneumonitis, shortening of the breath, we can give the Vayu Gulika. The Rasakalpas are there, but I will not go inside that. But this Indukanta Kashaya, Vasa Guduchadi Kashaya, Indukanta Grata, Vasadi Grata, and this Vayu Gulika, Chikun Tipalyadi Gulika. So this particular regime will take care of the Doshapaka Avastha. Even though in the literature, they have explained 3 to 4 good Pataladi Gruta, Vasadi Gruta, Dashmulu Gruta. So these 3 Grutas has been explained in the Charak Samhita. We can also give it 3 Gruta. along with other remaining protocols we can apply in this Doshapaka stage. Now, the second stage, which is very again important, the third stage in this disease condition, that is of very crucial, that is critical phase. So in this critical phase, there are chances of death are more. So this particular avastha we can label it a Dhatupak avastha. Just now I have explained Doshapak and Dhatupak. Just the Samprapti is in the Chauraha. If it turns toward the Doshapaka, prognosis is good. If the Samprapti turns toward the Dhatupaka, ultimately the prognosis is concerned. The prognosis rate of mortality is very high after the Dhatupaka. So we have to be very conscious in the asymptomatic phase, in the mild to moderate symptom phase, that Samprapti should not turn toward the Dhatupaka avastha. So let me explain again. So what is a Dhatupaka avastha? First, modern pathophysiology. We reach up to the inflammatory reaction of the cytokine. So in that condition, what the body is doing, WBC are fighting, but what body is doing? No, body will try in the different manner also. What it does, it produces a beautiful chemical, that is interleukin 6, IL-6. This interleukin 6 will act as a anti-inflammatory, because the inflammation has a takes a huge form. They have labeled it as a cytokine storm. It's like a cyclone. In the abundant quantity, this cytokine has been produced. Cytokine, inflammation. More cytokine, more inflammation. Very more severe cytokine, severe inflammatory reaction. So, for controlling this cytokine, the interleukin 6 and define this particular term by the laboratory investigation. So, what will happen now? Due to the cytokine storm, then first Rasdhatu will involve, again thrombocytopenia, neutropenia, the lymphopenia is there. Rakta get involved. In the Rakta involved, then bilirubin will be increased, D-dimer will be influenced. Then again the coagulation pathway will be increased. Third, Mouse Dhatu. So whatever the protocol I am explaining here, these protocols sequentially has been mentioned by the modern physician. I am not changed the sequence also. They have just said in the stage 1, you have to go for the CBC. In the stage 2, is liver profile, hepatic profile, bilirubin, and the serum proteins and all everything, alkaline phosphatase. In the third protocol, lactate and creatinine kinase. Just remember, lactate is a product which is produced in the muscles. Creatinine kinase is a product which is produced in the muscle. So if these two are increasing, which is indicating that the inflammatory reaction, it reaches up to the Mouse Dhatu. The third stage, investigation profile, third profile, lactate and creatinine kinase. If lactate is increased, creatinine kinase is increased, ultimately Mouse Dhatu involved. Now the fourth one is Medha Dhatu. So how could we define the involvement of Medha Dhatu Paka? So Medha Vakka and Vapavahan. Ultimately, the fourth protocol produced by the modern physician, we have to define after lactate and this creatinine kinase level, go for the RFT, renal function test, serum creatinine, blood urea nitrogen. So that we have to measure. So it is involvement of the Medha Dhatu. So Medha Dhatu is involved, then ultimately Vakka will be involved. And due to Vakka involvement, the Mutra Ghata, or what you call as a renal failure, involvement of the urinary system is there. Again, the Asti Dhatu is a Sthir Dhatu, not so much get involved. Majja is involved. Majja is involved. The patient started the CNS symptom, drowsiness, altered sensorium, altered consciousness. This causes in the Majja Dhatu involvement. And the final product is the Shukra and Oja. If OJ is involved, then that causes a very critical position. So this particular entity, again explained in the Sannipata Jora, Santata Jora, Hato just a condition. When OJ is involved, life will be on the risk, more risk. So Hato just condition. When the Dhatu Pak happens, Ras Dhatu, Rak Dhatu, Maun Dhatu, Med Dhatu, Asti Dhatu, Majja Dhatu, Shukra Dhatu, and OJ. If Dhatu Pak state happens in this particular state, definitely it will affect to the OJA, and the prognosis becomes bad due to the involvement of the OJA. Now our pathophysiology, it took the multi-organ involvement. All organs are involved. First Rak Dhatu, Ras Dhatu, Maus Dhatu is involved. Maus Dhatu, Med Dhatu, respiratory system is involved. In the Majja, central nervous system is involved, respiratory system already involved, cardiac system, Mons Dhatu is involved, cardiovascular system also get involved. So this multi-systemic involvement, and they have labeled it as a sepsis or septicemia. When cytokine storm is there, most severe the inflammatory reaction. So this is called as a cytokine storm and septicemia. And due to the septicemia, the complication of septicemia, hypotension, the CNS involvement, this hemodynamic parameters, they get affected. That causes the shock, septicemic shock. And when the shock is there, circulation get affected. If circulation is not there, ultimately blood is not flowing in its own path. So how the organ will get their share from the blood? So this, due to the shock condition, major of the patient, they dies. Now here, we should consider the death ratio of the COVID-19, 2 to 3%. And which people are most susceptible for this death? Comorbid condition. The patient who are having, the people who are having the comorbid condition. So what are the categories in the comorbid condition? First, COPD. Second, coronary artery disease. Third is a hypertension. Fourth is a variety of cancer. If we go for diabetes, so all these entity, all these are a Yapte Vyadhi. So all already visheshan of dhatu took place in this entity. If dhatus are involved in this entity, and these are not treatable, these are the Yapte Vyadhi. So involvement of dhatu, formation of dhatu portion is hampered, already hampered. So what will happen up to the OJ? OJ also get not properly produced in such kind of patient. And if samprapti happens in this condition of a dhatu paka, ultimately this samprapti get a Formula 1 speed, very immediately, very fast. So while discussing this entity, our Granthakar has explained why this thing happens. So they have told that the Pitta, again the Pitta, Paka is a department of the Pitta. So Pitta is having, what is the property? Pittam sasneha tikshnoshna lagovistha saradravam. Sasneha, it is snigdha, saradrava. But due to the increased Ushma, due to the other displacement, changing the position, dosha prokop, it loses its snigdha property. So this increased heat is a dry heat now. And due to the dry heat, Vata prokop, already the Pitta is having Ashukari property, Vata is having Ashukari property, and due to this, the speed has been increased. It's like a Formula 1. And the saprapti turned towards the Dhatu Pakavastha. So I have explained the Dhatu Pakavastha, comorbid avastha, what are the probable saprapti of Dhatu Avastha, Dhatu Pakavastha, and how to define this Dhatu Pakavastha. Ras Dhatu involvement, investigation. Rakta Dhatu involvement, LFT and all. Mons Dhatu involvement, then lactase and the creatinine chiasm. Med Dhatu involvement, it is excretory system, it's serum creatinine and blood urea nitrogen all. OJ is involved and all involved. There is no any specific investigation for that. Even CNS is involved. Ultimately, we can predict on this basis. So this particular samprapti happens, and the most of the patient that dies due to the dhatu pak. Now, what we can do? What should be our approach? So again, dhatu pak, even though the Granthakara is explained, mokshayacha, vadhayacha. If a dosha pak happens, moksha mil jayega aapko. And if dhatu pak happens, then vadhayacha. It causes the death. But okay, it will cause the death. But now we can try to just whatever the process of dhatu pak is there, we try to slow down that process. We'll try to control over that process. So what should be our approach? Again, they have explained, Granthakara has explained, in this particular stage, already the patient has received the medicine. The patient has already the dosha prokop is there. Patient is having already dhatu kshay is there. So what treatment protocol, which medium we should use? So they have just advised us to use the Ghruta Kalpana, Sarpi Pan, Samskarita Sarpi. Why Sarpi? Sarpi having the property, Vata Pittahara, all from Rasa Odasam Hitam, Rasa to Oja, it is very good for that. Dhatu, it is very good for the Pitta. For the Pitta in a Grata ultimately it is Agni Deepak property. Snigdadun, whatever had been repressed. So we can introduce the Snigdadun in that Pitta by means of this Grata. And whatever the cytokine related inflammatory reaction is there, so they have not advised to give a plain Go Gruta. They have advised to Samskarita Gruta. So whatever the Samskar Dravya we are using, they will take care of this cytokine inflammatory reaction. They will take care of the dosha prakopena. So here Samskarita Gruta is having important role. So along with the Shamaniya Kashai, we can give the Samskarita Gruta also. Here already while defining the stage of the dosha paka, we have explained that. Again, I will repeat this. If rasdhatu is involved, ultimately neutropenia, lymphopenia is there. Again, I have provided the option of Indukanta Kashay, Indukanta Ghrata, Vasaguduchadi Kashay, Vasadi Kashay. These are very beautiful. When Raktadhatu is involved, then Drakshadi Kashay, Punarnavadi Kashay. It is having a Punarnava, rasayan property, regeneration property, and even anti-inflammatory properties there. So Punarnavadi Kashay, Drakshadi Kashay, maybe Vasaguduchadi Kashay, you can repeat here again. When Mouse Dhatu is involved, lactase is increasing, creatinine kinase is increasing. Here we have to make approach for the Kushta Chikitsa and Vatraka Chikitsa. In the Vatraka also they have explained. Yes, Uttana and Gambhiran. So ultimately here the involvement of Twacha and a mouse. So here Nimbadi Kashay, Patal Kotoranadi Kashay, Bala Shatavari Kashay, Shatavari Chinnarudak, every Kashay you will get in Sahastra Yoga. Sahastra Yoga is available, even though apps are available there. So you can find it out. All these Granthokta Kashay in the South India, Sahastra Yoga and Ashtanga Hridaya is authentic. They are using the all kalpa in the Sahastra Yoga. So Ghrata, Tikta, Ghrata, Shatavari, Ghrata, we can use in this. If a Medha Dhatu is involved, ultimately it will cause the effect on the excretory system. Varnadi Kashay, Virataradi Kashay, Trana Panchamulu Kashay, Vrakshamla Kashay. A lot of Kashayas are available there for taking care of our kidneys. Along with that, Varnadi Ghrata, Shatavari, Ghrata, Bastayamanta Ghrata. These Ghrata are there having specific action on this. Last one is what about the Oj and Shukra Dhatu or Bhajya Dhatu involvement. So here in this condition, Jivan Adi Kashay, Jivan Adigana is a very beautiful action. Kshira Shatapala Ghrata. This is also having Ojovardhak action. And the beautiful drug which has been explained in the Vatraka Chikitsa, Shatapaki Balate. It is available in capsule form. It is available in the drop form. Kshirbala 101. Dhanvantar Tel, Shatapaki 101. So these two drugs are having very great potential to reach up to the Oj Dhatu in a very small quantity because they has been processed 100 times. So these are the treatment modalities which are available to prevent the Dhatu Pakavastha, Shamaniya Kashay along with the Kruta Kalpana. Now, Mokshaya Vadaicha, the patient who has been survived, the patient who has died, they will put in the name on the newspapers and media, how much deaths are there and all everything. Those people who are survived in the asymptomatic category, mild to moderate category, and from the severe category also, those patients who get survived, they will be land into our final stage, that is the Vyadhi Paschat Avastha, Vyadhi post disease condition. Now, what is the pathology in the Vyadhi Paschat Avastha? Maybe the patient has become negative, antibodies has been formed. Here, the modern science is telling that, okay, now you are okay, negative, you can go to the home, you can live your normal life, even though the plasma therapy is there, you come here and donate the blood, you will collect the antibodies from that and give to another patient. What is our role? What is the further problems are there? Again, maybe there are chances of reinfection. Maybe there are chances. In the chikungunya cases, a lot of people, they get affected in the musculoskeletal system. Now, till today, they are coming. My joint is aching. From when? Up to the chikungunya. So this particular disease, after treatment also, it can develop the dhatu effect on the dhatu, which will provide a seed for any another disease. So already dhatu involvement is there, and if dosha prakop is there, again the second disease will be incurred. Maybe the patient in the land into the asthma conditions or COPD conditions and all. So we have to take care of such category in the post-disease condition. So how could we correlate this condition? So there are two conditions explained in the literature. One is the Jirna Jvara. 3 saptaha vetitetu jvare yastantangata. After 21 days, patient land into the Jirna Jvara avastha or Punaravartak Jvara avastha. Remission is there. So ultimately here, we have to strengthen the dhatu. Whatever the small dosha prakop is there, we have to take care of the small dosha prakop also. We have to take care of the Agni, everything, and dhatu, oj also. So here the best option, Jirna Jvara, Gratapana Prashastate, Sarpipana Prashastate. So here, Sarpipana, whatever the Sarpi, I have explained already, Indukanta Grata, Shatavaryadi Grata, Vidaryadi Grata. So this Grat we can introduce along with all the rasayan. If suppose some patient is not preferring the Grata Chikitsa, you can use the rasayan also. Agasti rasayan, Chevan Prash rasayan, Bhargav Prat rasayan. So these are, even the Amruta Prasha Grata is a very beautiful drug. One reference is there in the Grahani Avastha. Grahani, what they have told, ki Vyadhi Paschata Mandanala. After disease, if Agniman is there, which is commonly found, recovery phase, Agniman, that we take care with the help of Sarpipan. So here, the Grata Kalpana, Amrut Prashgrata has been explained here. Amrut Prashgrata Ashtang Hrudayadhikar. So, by means of this Rasayan therapy, by means of Sarpi Kshiraparnana, we will take care of the post-disease condition. So here, this is the different scenarios are there, stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. I have tried to explain the modern pathophysiology. I have tried to explain the correlation with the Ayurvedic fundamental principles. So this is all from my side. At last, actually, I have to deliver my just some words about myself. I'm very much thankful to our faculty dean in our Parul University, Dr. Hemant Oshikhane sir, Dr. B.G. Kulkarni sir, who is the principal of the Parul Institute of Ayurveda and Research, all my respectable faculties of Parul Institute of Ayurveda Research and Parul Institute of Ayurveda. Due to the lockdown phase, I'm stuck in the home. Due to that, I will not get a references and my friends from Latur here in the Parul also, they have provided me a references round the clock, and just I am representing their work. On behalf of them, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
थँक्यू सर, थँक्यू. खूप सुंदर प्रेझेंटेशन आपलं या ठिकाणी झालेलं आहे. तर मी याचं कन्क्लूड करण्यासाठी आमच्या महाविद्यालयातील सिनियर फॅकल्टी डॉक्टर मंदार भंडगे सर यांना विनंती करतोय की त्यांनी याचं कन्क्लूड करावं. भंडगे सर, आपण लाईनवर आहात, आपला माईक ऑन करावा प्लीज. डॉक्टर मंदार भंडगे सर.
हॅलो
सर बोला, आपण कन्क्लूड करावं प्लीज, आपल्याला विनंती आहे. मंदार भंडगे सर आमच्या महाविद्यालयाचे पंचकर्मा डिपार्टमेंटचे एचओडी आहेत आणि ते या व्याख्यानाचं कन्क्लूड करतील असं मी सरांना विनंती करतोय.
सर नमस्कार. सर कोरे सरांनी खूप वेगळ्या पद्धतीने आजचा विषय मांडलेला आहे, खूप छान. विशेषतः त्यातलं धातू पाकाचं जे कोरिलेशन सरांनी केलेलं आहे ते खूप छान होतं. एक वेगळा विचार सगळ्यांच्या समोर त्यांनी मांडलेला आहे. मी सरांचं खूप खूप अभिनंदन करतो आणि त्यांना धन्यवाद देतो आपल्या सगळ्यांच्या वतीने. या अशाच प्रकारच्या विषयांवर. हॅलो
बोला.
हॅलो
बोला सर, भंडगे सर आपण बोला 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 सर आपण.
अशाच प्रकारच्या विषयांवर सरांनी आणखी पण सरांची व्याख्यानं पुढेही आपण आयोजित करूया असं मला वाटतं.
निश्चित सर, धन्यवाद. धन्यवाद सर. यानंतर मी माननीय प्राचार्य लोखंडे सरांना विनंती करतोय की या व्याख्यानाचा त्यांनी समारोप करावा आणि सरांचे आभार व्यक्त करावे. माननीय लोखंडे सर, प्राचार्य अश्विन आयुर्वेद कॉलेज.
डॉक्टर नरेश कोरे सरांनी इतकं छान लेक्चर घेतलं की आम्ही चिकित्सेचे आहोत आणि आज त्या प्रत्यक्ष ऐकण्याचा योग आला आणि त्यांनी अनेक विषयाला स्पर्श केला. आधुनिक आणि आपलं आयुर्वेद याचं जे एकत्रीकरण मी आतापर्यंत मी कौतुक त्यांचं याच्यासाठी करतो. मी भरपूर व्याख्यानं ऐकलेले आहेत आणि स्वतः सुद्धा त्या क्षेत्रात असलेला आहे. तर मी सरांचं पूर्ण लेक्चर ऐकलं, अति उत्कृष्ट लेक्चर झालेलं आहे आणि मी त्यांना आजच विनंती करतो की पुन्हा असं एखादं लेक्चर आमच्या महाविद्यालयाला त्यांनी द्यावं आणि ते या ठिकाणी आले, उत्कृष्ट व्याख्यान घेतलं. सर्व विद्यार्थी, शिक्षक, आमचे पदवीचे विद्यार्थी यांनी बरेचसे विद्यार्थ्यांनी ऐकलं. मी त्यांचं महाविद्यालयात मनस्वी त्यांचे आभार मानतो आणि तवशीकर सरांकडे. तवशीकर सर. तवशीकर सर.
धन्यवाद लोखंडे सर. माननीय कोरे सरांना मी पुनश्च एकदा धन्यवाद देतो. सरांना विनंती केली आणि सरांनी ती मान्य केली, त्याबद्दल सरांचं पुनश्च आभार. आणि सरांनी वेळोवेळी असंच यापुढे आम्हाला आमच्या संस्थेला मार्गदर्शन करावं. मी संपूर्ण विद्यार्थी, त्यानंतर संपूर्ण अश्विन महाविद्यालयाचे स्टाफ आणि सर्वांतर्फे सरांचे पुनश्च एकदा आभार मानतो आणि सदरील लेक्चर संपलं असं मी या ठिकाणी डिक्लेअर करतोय. धन्यवाद सर, खूप खूप धन्यवाद, सर्वांचे धन्यवाद. थँक्यू सर, थँक्यू.